Hello, it is me, Tkiljoy, and welcome back to a brand new video. And in today's video, we are playing some Fable, and we are asking the question, can you beat Fable with only your fists? Yeah, let's just say this challenge was a lot harder than I was expecting. Like, a lot harder than I was expecting, and I'm just gonna come out and say it. No, no, you cannot do that. Fable was not meant for you to be able to beat the game with only, like, your fists. So, let's just get into the challenge, and I'll explain as time goes on, kinda the situation and stuff like that. So, we basically wake up from our nice little daydream and start helping out the town so we can make money to get our sister a present. We find this little girl that is missing her stuffed teddy bear. We find a cheating husband. And yeah, we immediately go tell his wife because that's not okay. She then scolds her husband and threatens, I think, murder. Yeah, we're gonna ignore that. We then sat by some boxes and waited for the guy to return. Very boring, but it was a very quick, good deed. This little kid called me a chicken because I wouldn't smash a bunch of barrels. We then beat up a bully. At least I hope it was a bully, unless the little kid's the bully, which, well, I don't know how I feel about that. We found Rosie, handed it back to the little girl. Head back to our father, he hands us our gold. Head to the trader and buy some chocolates and head to our sister. She explains her weird dreams, foreshadowing, perhaps. Man gets absolutely slaughtered, and then we play a terrible game of hide and seek that we somehow win. How do they not see me? I am, like, do you see how big those fences are? They can definitely see me, but alright, whatever, we'll go with that. We find our father slaughtered on the ground, cry about it for a bit, almost get murdered by a bandit, and get saved by man with electric spells. Maybe it's Palpatine, I don't know. I guess his name's Maze. He's kind of an asshole to children, but we head to the guild, and this is our new home, apparently. Since I guess that's life. Your family dies, and you get sent off to a place to train how to be a hero. We then continue punching a dummy, and this is where, yeah, we basically already failed the challenge. So we literally have to smack the dummy with the stick no matter what. So technically we could say that the challenge is still on at this point because we haven't attacked anything alive, we've just attacked a dummy. So if we went with that interpretation, okay, sure, the challenge is still alive. We killed some beetles. We then grow up and attack Whisper, where, yeah, see, as you can see, we're already failing, because you can't attack Whisper with anything besides the sword, otherwise it just doesn't count. We face off against Whisper in a duel, win, and then learn how to shoot bows. Bows are quite simple, we won't be using them much. Same with spells, we won't be using spells very much at all. In fact, we won't be using them at all, except for maybe occasionally by accident. We then get tested, where once again we've already failed because we have to shoot with a bow, we have to use our magic, everything. So, at this point I had determined, okay, fine then, after graduation, the challenge is then, can you beat Fable with only melee weapons? And this goes a lot better, but I do continue to try and punch things for quite a bit until at a point where I will tell you. So we basically beat up wasps, beat up the wasp queen, save a fisherman from some wasps. They guess they were bothering him and his fishing. We beat up some bandits that are trying to raid Orchard Farm. They aren't too difficult. They mostly just take a lot of like punches to take out. But, you know, you do eventually get them down enough and it's alright. The guards did most of the work, for sure. I don't know if that was me that cut off his head or if that was the guard, but either way, good teamwork. We then go and do a hob killing competition where, yeah, this is where I basically stopped punching because it's not happening. Like I tried this like off camera. I tried this mission off camera to see if you can do this successfully with only punching. No, you can't. The reason you can't is because like Whisper just gets too far ahead of you. So you literally need to have a melee weapon and just slash them up basically. But since we're slashing things up, now might be a good time to tell you to subscribe, and that a lot of you guys that watch my videos aren't even subscribed, so please subscribe and leave comments on what other videos you'd like to see. I plan on making a lot more content like this with other video games and such. Then it is time to escort some traders through Darkwood. This is once again a fail, like if I was just punching, but I did find out that technically you can get by punching. You just have to punch the rocks at the troll. We meet Maze at our old home. Tells us that there is a Cirrus that stands next to the Bandit King. But after that, we head over to save a boy from a cave of hobs and imps. I think it was an imp. So once again, not punching through that. We return the grandson, but yeah, the grandson ends up running away anyway. So yeah. So we then sneak into a bandit camp. Pretty easily, might I add. We then loot some chests with some bandit goods, which allows us to look the part to infiltrate the next part of the bandit camp. Very easy grabbing everything. Like at this point, like only using melee weapons is quite easy. I did try and punch these guys, it wasn't happening. So we equip our bandit gear and head in to the bandit camp. We then buy ourselves a bandit camp pass, 4,000 gold, and it's off into the next part where we take down a guard and free some prisoners, which will end up creating a distraction for me to infiltrate the next part of the bandit camp. So not bad at all. They're super happy they've gotten freed, and they run off. It's then off to fight Twinblade, where I once again try and punch him, where I realize that he cannot be harmed by punches. So once I figured that out, it was back to taking out the melee weapon. So yeah, like I did make multiple attempts to like beat this with like just punching, and there's just so many enemies that like are resistant to punching. We meet our sister, which is the Cirrus, and Yeah, she's all mystical and tells me of choices that we'll have to make. And, yeah. We head back to Maze, and he tells us that we need to find the archaeologist. He's gone missing. A magic door tells us that he will only open if we know his name. So, we figure out his name. His name is Hits. The voice lines kind of mess up, but I do still end up getting into the door somehow. I mean, strange, but we got in. Archaeologist is not happy that I found him, because apparently now others would be able to find him. So, yeah, he's not happy. We then face off against Balverines and protect the town from the Balverine infestation. There is a lot of them, and they take a little bit to take out, for sure. Like, they are no joke. They then let us in the camp, where we are told we have to face off against the White Balverine. So that's what we do. We face off against the White Balverine, and this fight is just, well, easy. It's mostly just continuously smacking him and letting him spawn others in. It's then off to the arena, where we get a nice little introduction to the arena on what it is, the history of it. And it's off to our first round, where we are facing off against Wasp, where, as you can see, I am still attempting to punch things. I don't know why at this point. At this point, I had already failed the challenge multiple times. I don't even know why I was trying anymore. But, I don't know. But, as you will see, yeah, we immediately go back to weapons because, well, Hobbs. The next round is Hobbs, and they can't exactly... Like, they can be harmed by punching, but they take forever to kill. It's then up to Balverines, which Balverines, again, the black Balverines can be harmed by punching, the white Balverines cannot. It's then off against Undead, probably the easiest thing to kill with my current setup at the moment. Like, not hard at all. Sometimes I just have to be careful to not get hit by them. Not like they hurt a lot, but they just like knock me down. Next round is up against bandits, and well, bandits are pretty laughable. They don't do too much. Like, they're pretty easy to handle overall. They can do a bit of damage. Like, I won't say that like they're a pushover, but you know, they kind of were. The next round is trolls. Very, very easy trolls. Next round after that is rock trolls, and they're very similar, but they are slightly more annoying because Whisper is not keeping the other one distracted, so I'm kind of just continuously getting smacked around by them, and it is very annoying. But we do eventually take them down, no thanks to Whisper at all. I continue to try punching. Once again, I don't know why. We then take out the Scorpion boss, which really was quite easy. I didn't really leave it in because there wasn't anything memorable about it. We then face off against Whisper, and this was a very boring fight. It was kind of just smacking her around, where she would have like occasionally like knocked me to the ground and it would be slightly annoying. But we eventually win, but instead of killing her, we leave the arena because we are not a killer. We meet our sister in a graveyard because I don't know. Like, why am I meeting my sister in a graveyard? Like, there are many other places to meet. Why a graveyard? But anyway, it's off to save the archaeologist once again because he was apparently in jail, and now he's been broken out, and I need to take on these minion things that look like dogs. I don't know I don't know. They're strange things. Very strange. We then go to the sword in the stone and attempt to pull it out. We succeed, and now we have a nice, pretty sword to use in fighting. We then go and raid a graveyard and retrieve all of the pieces of armor and weapon for Nostro. First piece we found, of course, in that grave. The second piece we found dug in a grave. Third thing we found in the gravekeeper's house, which ended up dying, sadly. We find the fourth piece while fishing. And then it's off to kill some undead to unlock a hidden passageway. Which, with this sword, it is so easy. Like, undead are, like, falling very quickly. Like, they are of no importance. We then find our mother in the jail, and we break her out of there. Very, very easily. Like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I guess I thought I could break through it. We then get intercepted by Jack of Blades, and yeah, he captures both of us. He boasts about me, and I end up going to jail. They shave me bald. Not sure why that was required to go to jail, but we do. We're then set off to do a race. I guess every year they allow you to do a nice little race and see the outside for that tiny little bit of time. So we, of course, being like max physique, absolutely wreck the race. We find the key inside of a book. Well, the warden was reading poetry. He gets very upset that I don't seem to care, and it's off to get our belongings back. So we get our belongings back after a very small prison break. And yeah, the guards don't really stand a chance against me. We find our mother once again and release her. It is then off to kill the first boss, which really was quite simple. Literally, you just wait for the tentacles to slam down, and then you just smack the tentacle. Then when the head pops out, you just smack the head quite a bit of times until it's dead. Like, it was not hard at all. So, it's then off to Darkwood to unlock an ancient Cullis gate, which will send us to Hook Coast. All we have to do is just kill a bunch of undead. Quite simple, to be honest. The Cullis gate unlocks, and we are off to Hook Coast. On Hook Coast, we find a magical barrier and get summoned back to the guild to figure out how to take down magical barriers. We meet our mom back at Maze's quarters, and she got captured again. Getting real tired of saving you, Mom. We then take down a magical barrier and discover Maze there with our sister. He tries to lie to us and say that our sister has been brainwashed by Jack of Blades. Yeah, this guy is lying. We then have to take down Maze, and, well, this is kind of another one of those fights that's quite simple. Like, at this point, we are doing a lot of damage. Like, enough to basically take down a whole fight within mere seconds. Even the, I think these are called screamers. Even they pose no threat to me whatsoever. So, we get Maze down, and that's that for him. We now have to stop Jack from activating all of the ancient rocks. So we get to play a lovely game of Duck Duck Goose. I think that's what game I would consider this. So we continue chasing Jack through multiple portals, and we don't catch him. We never stop him from activating any of the rocks. So, you know, one after one, the rocks continue to be activated. And, yeah, Jack kind of just wins this round, because, like, he just has, like, a special key that allows him to, again, turn on the rocks. I just have to keep following him portal through portal. It's slightly annoying. So, we finally meet him at the last rock, where he says he's going to spill my mother's blood. And also mine. Like, how much blood do you need, guy? Like, I would prefer if you didn't have to spill any blood. We then meet Jack in, the, like, I guess our chamber, because it represents all of our memories and our life. But anyway, this is where our sword is, or the sword. He kills our mother. I get kind of upset. I don't know, I can't tell. Like, I have a helmet on. Like, my character's kind of just doing body movements. So we take down a bunch of minions, which they're mostly just annoying. Like, they don't do enough damage for me to really care about it. Jack is also quite annoying, because he just keeps hitting me with, like, the same move, like, over and over again. It's just really annoying. But I do eventually get enough hits on him for him to ascend, and this is where the melee-only challenge fails. He can only be attacked by bows during this phase. Yeah. So this is as far as you can get while doing a melee-only playthrough. So, no, you cannot beat Fable using only your fist, and you cannot beat Fable using only melee. But I still continued anyway. So, not remembering much of the game from my childhood, I remembered that you throw it into the vortex and then that was the end of the game. So apparently on PC, that is not the case. This is not the end of the game, and in fact, as you can see on the video, there is still another 8 minutes remaining. So what happens? Well, we throw the blade into the abyss, where they are lost forever. Our sister decides to leave, and a year, maybe a few years pass, and we're just over with our mother's grave. And something weird is happening in the Northern Wastes, and we are needed. So, we dust off our armor, we dust off our lovely gear, and we are off to save some old hermits that are entrapped in ice. So, after a very annoying minigame, we save all of the hermits, and we get the Heart of Fire. Yeah, so these minigames are just kind of annoying. Like, I believe it took me, I think, 2 tries in total to finish this. But we do eventually get the Heart of Fire, and it's off to put the Heart of Fire in Hook Coast Lighthouse. Or sorry, the Fire Heart, not the Heart of Fire. Same thing, I think. But maybe. So the summoners start attacking our Fire Heart, which I guess are a new enemy. But after we kill the summoners, we are off on a boat where we have aged quite a bit. We have a beard, and yeah, we definitely aged. Like maybe a few, I don't know, like I didn't really check like how much time had passed between when I got on the boat to when I left the boat. But anyway, we make it to Scythe, and he explains to us that the Snowspire Oracle was attempting to be used by Jack to find the sword. We have to find the Glyphs of Inquiry, which were quite simple. Like, we just dug up a bunch of graves, pretty much, and killed a few enemies to get the last glyph. It wasn't anything crazy, to be honest. In fact, I was actually surprised that there was anything past, like, killing Jack of Blades. But we get the last tablet, and it's off to the oracles, where they tell us that Jack of Blades has returned as a new form. Yeah. That is not something I wasn't expecting. Like I said, back when I played this on the original Xbox, it was literally just you killed Jack, and yeah, that was pretty much the end of the game. There wasn't anything past that, but I guess more was added. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I'm pretty sure there was nothing past that, because when I played this, I did not remember any of this. Anyway, so we are off to get souls of fallen heroes. In this case, we are after the arena champion, king of the arena, basically. Now, we could kill Thunder, which I would take great pleasure in, but we are playing a very, I guess, holy character. They do not do any bad things. As you can see, that is why my beard is, like, blonde? Maybe it's blonde. Anyway, we face off in the arena against minions and summoners. We then claim the souls of the arena. Jack then belittles me. We're then off to get a second soul, which will be our mother, which she's being tormented by shriekers. I don't remember the name of these. They were quite non-memorable. So, we get our mother's spirit. And then it's off to kill Nostro for his spirit. Because he is a warrior spirit, he must die in battle. So I respect that, and we have a lovely battle. It really wasn't much of a battle. I literally have one of the best swords in the game, where I just do so much damage, especially to undead. Like undead, I'm like, it's one hit. One hit and they die. So we take down Nostro, he gives us his soul. And it is back to the Northern Waste to unlock the Bronze Gate. I'm then claimed as the strongest hero, and talk about potentially Jack taking a small and furry option. He doesn't. He takes on the form of a dragon. And this is the laughable fight. Like, one of the best weapons in the game. Like, the only thing I'm really worrying about here is just like the amount of damage like he does. Which doesn't matter because I have, I think, hundreds of health potions at this point. So it really, like, it does not matter at all. But, I mean, you can get through like 90% of the game. In fact, I would say 95% of the game you can completely beat with only using melee weapons. but there's only that one part, that one final fight with Jack that just you can't, like, because he floats up and like there's no way to attack him. We then have to make a very hard decision where we can either put on the mask and become very powerful or throw it away. And of course, once again, holy character, we throw the mask away and become known as the greatest hero. So, with that being said, the mask was banished, and no, you cannot beat Fable using only your fists, and you cannot beat Fable using only melee weapons. In fact, I'm starting to think this game was not meant for challenge runs. So, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out.